I grew up surrounded by people of different races since I was young. Being mixed, I sometimes felt like I didn't belong, as even though my birth certificate says I'm Malay, attempts at trying to fit in with my Malay peers made me feel like a foreigner due to my looks and awkward pronunciation when speaking the Malay language. This made me grow close to those of other races. In my early school years, I met my best friend Adeline, who was this lively, extroverted Chinese girl, and we are still the best of friends until now, 13 years later. Fast forward to the present, I've made friends of diverse backgrounds, ranging from my Chinese and Indian schoolmates to my Indonesian, Thai, and Japanese buddies I made through online games, picking up some phrases or two from their respective languages. Around this time, my parents surprised us with a trip to Japan, our first trip abroad. I prepared with a lot of shallow YouTube videos such as Top 10 Most Common Japanese Phrases. Truthfully, this information went in one ear and out the next, and I did not do the best research on the culture and etiquette. I was more excited for the places I was going to visit instead. I expected for it to be as simple as just hopping from one tourist attraction to the next. When we got to Japan, it was a huge shock for me. The fact that we could walk from one destination to the next and travel by train was so new to me, as I have never lived near public transport. As exciting as it was, I couldn't help but be super anxious about our routes. I kept my eyes glued to my phone for Google Maps to make sure we wouldn't get lost, and had Google Translate on standby in case we didn't understand anything, as almost everything was in Japanese. It's a little embarrassing to admit I spent more time looking at my phone compared to enjoying the environment. I was just so afraid of getting lost and not being able to find our way home before our portable Wi-Fi device ran out of battery. I truly learned my lesson when I was walking through a countryside neighborhood area leading to the farmer's market where most signboards were in Japanese. When I walked straight into a group of people having a chat outside their houses, I was so embarrassed. I was so immersed in looking at the map, I forgot to be aware of my surroundings. After that incident, I started looking up from my phone more. I understood some Chinese as I took a few classes and would converse with my friends. So I started noticing some similarities between Japanese and Chinese characters. I also remembered some basic Japanese my online friends in Japan taught me. I can't put into words the satisfaction I felt recognizing these characters around me and being able to understand their meanings. Even so, my minimal knowledge of the language was not enough for me to survive without my translator app. I don't think I used a single phrase from the 5-minute YouTube video I watched before the trip. I realized, even with my diverse circle of friends, the knowledge I had about other cultures was surface level at most. So I vowed for my next trip to at least pick up more of the native language before leaving, so I wouldn't have been so stressed trying to get around. In the end, understanding more of the culture of the country would have made my trip more entertaining instead of worrying every second. Thank you.